All right, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our product release and roadmap webinar. We're happy to have you here. This is the first of many webinars. We're kicking off a series of product webinars the last month of every quarter to share with our customers what we've recently released, how you can optimize those releases, and give you a peek at what's to come. So just some housekeeping items. We are recording this webinar, so after the webinar is complete, we will send you the recording with the slides just in the next few days. Throughout the webinar, you can ask your questions. You can use the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen to ask questions as we go, and we'll reserve time at the end to answer those questions. So with that said, I would like to introduce our speakers for today. We have myself, Colette Chevalier. I'm in customer marketing and I'm the host of the webinar. We have Kara Hendricks with us. She's in product marketing. Bill Schneider, he's our VP of market development. And Greg Wagner, our head of product. Our agenda for the day, or for the next 30 minutes, is Bill will talk to us about identity marketing and our ShareID growth. Kara's going to review some of the new consumer tribes that we've released, and Greg's going to dive into the product releases with SMS notifications, enterprise security, e-commerce integrations, and then talk through our Q1 roadmap. So with that, I'll pass it over to Bill.
Thanks, Colette, and thanks everybody. Thanks for joining. I wanted to talk a little bit about identity marketing to kick off the webinar. It's an important term, one that we're investing a lot in as we move forward in the coming year. And you may have seen that last month, ShareID received a significant minority investment of $64 million from CDC Growth Partners to help us accelerate the development of our identity marketing platform, which, as Colette pointed out, is going to help us do really important education events, among many other things that bring our product to you and make it easier for you to use. In working with each of you, we have found that verifying consumer eligibility for an exclusive personalized offer has immense value. It has immense value in that it helps create a very strong emotional connection with the people in a consumer tribe. A consumer tribe is essentially a group of people that share an important aspect of their identity, like serving their country in the military or teaching a classroom. And it's also, as we know, an effective way to build a personalized acquisition program that is also privacy friendly, which we know is an important consideration for many of us, given the current marketing environment, marketing landscape, and what consumers expect. I wanted to talk a little bit about how we think about identity marketing and what are the core components that really make it work to set a backdrop for some of the features and capabilities that you're going to see and hear from Kara and Greg. The guiding principles behind identity marketing really fall into what we call 3 core pillars. And these are things that we use to develop our platform. The first is that the groups that we're essentially reaching, right? And these we call consumer tribes. This is an important distinction in the way that we are creating personalization programs, because the people that we are reaching are part of a social group that all know one another. And because they know one another or know other people like them, there's a strong word of mouth effect when an offer has resonance with a person in that group, which is an important component because it helps decrease your acquisition costs. So that's the first point. The second point is that the offer is verified. And this is what we've been known for. This is likely, the primary reason why you are a customer of ShareID is because of our digital verification technology that we've been building over the last several years. What we have found is that in addition to verifying whether the consumer is eligible for an offer to help mitigate fraud, it also demonstrates to the consumer that it's just for them and their social group. So that shows that it's authentic and really has value for their group, which drives the sharing component that we talked about in point 1. And then the last point is around privacy. And we know this is becoming more and more important as new regulations are coming into market and consumers' privacy concerns are heightened as more information is being shared in the industry. And the technique that we're using because of verification is all opt-in. It's all consent-based. And for that reason, our platform and our ethos is that all of the data that we capture is never shared or sold by ShareID in any way, shape, or form. So you can be very confident that the information that is being collected through the verification form is held to the highest privacy standards. So before I kick it over to Kara here, I also wanted to highlight some of the enhancements that we've made to our platform over the last several years. As you know, verification is our bread and butter. It's the cornerstone of our platform, and we have added numerous verification types, and we've added different privacy safeguards, as well as security compliance like SOC 2 to help maintain and ensure that we have the best secure verification that's in the industry. We've also offered recently some new self-service tools to help you manage your offer so that you can add things like reward codes, you can implement unique branding options, you can even report on results right within your own UI so you can get a sense for the performance of your campaigns. The next step that we've been focusing on is what we call offer optimization. And in addition to the features that I just mentioned, we've also offered things like ROI dashboards so you can get a sense for what type of return and ROI your program is generating, both from a revenue perspective and also a fraud mitigation perspective. There are also new tools that we've added, and we're going to talk about that in just a few moments, around conversion optimization so that you can re-engage prospects that are in the verification funnel to move them along the purchase path. And we've also offered some tools to help support any A/B testing processes that you have in place as well. Now, lastly, we've also offered some new what we call offer expansion capabilities, where you can connect with your internal systems like your loyalty program or your e-commerce program to pass data to those programs so that you can add the data that we're collecting into your customer record for repeat marketing. And we've also been busy at work in adding additional geographies. Earlier this year, we announced student verification in 191 countries. We're the first to do that. That was a big milestone for us. We're very proud of that. And we're also offering a number of new types of verification types or consumer tribes that you can interact with. So lots that we've been busy, and there's a lot to take advantage of, which is what we wanted to provide some insight to you on if there's some capabilities that maybe you're not taking advantage of right now that you're interested in, please contact your customer success manager. But before you do that, let me hand it over to Kara, and she can talk more about some of the new consumer tribes that we've added to our platform.
Awesome. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, that was a really good segue into the next area where I want to talk about, one of our main focuses recently has been, really adding on to our data sources so we can bring you new consumer tribes that you can use to expand your existing identity marketing programs. The first one of those is U.S. high school students, which includes 4.2 million juniors and seniors age 16 and over. This has been a huge ask from you, our customers, because you really want, what we've heard is that you really want to capture that Gen Z demographic early on and expand the reach of your existing student programs. And in fact, one of our customers, Tidal, has already taken advantage of this by launching a new high school student plan for their premium streaming music service and offering a 50% discount off their regular plan price. They were offering this program to college students, and it was a really easy ad for them to offer this to high school students. The next one is doctor verification, specifically targeting physicians with an MD or DO license. This niche group really is a little bit different. It's not as receptive to discounts, but can be a really good group for driving brand loyalty with other types of incentives like early access events and limited time offers on luxury brands and products. And of course, don't forget about National Doctors Day coming up in March is a great time to promote to these people as well. And then adding on to the medical community, we added nurses, which has already gained huge traction with a few of our customers. As America's most trusted profession, it's no surprise why a lot of our brands are jumping at their ability to launch some unique campaigns for this group. In fact, one of our customers, Cheap Caribbean, launched an exclusive contest just for nurses where they had to sign up within a certain time frame, and then they gave away 50 free Caribbean vacations. This was an awesome acquisition strategy for Cheap Caribbean, as it really allowed them to capture a lot of this segment, and with such a compelling offer, it really opened them up to continuing marketing opportunities over time. The last consumer tribe that we've added recently is first responders. First responders includes firefighters, police officers, EMTs, and paramedics in the US. And this has been a great win for a lot of our customers by combining first responders with their existing military programs to really create a heroes program that has a larger reach and a bigger impact. For example, that's exactly what Tuft & Needle did for their campaign by offering veterans and first responders an exclusive 15% discount to really thank them for their amazing service. So as you're looking at 2020 and looking at the year and planning your campaigns, don't forget that each of these consumer tribes have holidays and seasonality throughout the year that offer a great time to run special promotions. We have a National Doctors Day on March 30th, Nurses Week in May, back to school time in the fall, and First Responders Day in October. We have a full calendar of all of these special holidays throughout the year that we can send as a follow-up to this webinar to help you in your planning. Great, so now I'll pass it over to Greg, our head of product, to share more of our exciting enhancements that we've done recently.
All right, thanks, Kara. So in addition to these new data segments, we've added a major new platform capability this year we're really excited about. That's the ability to notify your customers through SMS notifications in addition to email. So our customers tell us that the conversion metrics are really top of mind. It's one of their top concerns. And one issue they might see is, in the event we're unable to instantly verify a user, they'll see drop-off rates of maybe 20 to 30% at the document review step. And this is usually because a person is out and about, they don't have their documentation on their person right there in the moment. So a solution here is to improve conversions is to use SMS reminders. And this is particularly true for millennials and Gen Z who tend to ignore email. And that can be really effective when you're trying to reach students. SMS notifications, as you know, pop up right on top of your smartphone. And say they arrive in real time, and they'll nudge the consumer back into the verification process. Email might have a tendency to get buried in an inbox. And so here on the screen, we have a couple of example messages. They have to be short, compelling, and really to the point. the first example, we're encouraging the user to upload a document. The second example, someone has successfully completed a document review, and this will drive them right back into convert for you and convert on your offer. For one of our customers, just as an example, just turning on this feature produced an uplift of 50% on conversions as opposed to going to the email. And because of the size and volume of this customer, this came to the tune of tens of millions of dollars of additional revenue just over a course of 6 months. So a few words about privacy and security. As a quick reminder of our position on data privacy, ShareID will never share or sell your customers' data. We're passionate about this, and this concern goes to the very core of how we operate as a company. It's built into our business model. Our job is to verify your customers and protect your customers' data. And so this is why it's always top of mind for us to continuously enhance the privacy and security capabilities of our product, especially when it comes to helping you comply with regulations like the California Consumer Protection Act, CCPA, going into effect in just a few weeks in January, and the similar regulations they have in Europe, GDPR. Here are just a few of the security enhancements that we've delivered over the past year. The first three of these features are about protecting campaigns against consumer fraud. Digital fingerprinting. We don't use cookies, but there's still a lot of information that we can glean from a web browser and network traffic. We call this digital exhaust. And we can use that to alert us to suspicious behavior. We also run this information and end user submits through a machine learning model and applies a score to each transaction, alerting us to fraud risk. And we can apply limits and prevent abuse that way. When a customer uploads images, we have a different ML model, and we use computer vision to detect images that may have been photoshopped or just look suspicious. And apply either, we can reject them outright or recommend them for further review. And then finally, we've secured how you and your team interacts with ShareID. When you access ShareID's dashboard or reporting, we've implemented the option to enable multi-factor authentication to secure your data, because we know there's a lot of your customers' data that can be in our platform. Here is another exciting area where we've been expanding product. Our goal with e-commerce integrations is to take the most popular e-commerce engines and make it really easy to get up and running with gated personalized offers. These are also really important if you want to instantly verify consumer tribes directly within your e-commerce shopping cart checkout process, if you want to be directly within that flow. We have a great example of this in the next slide. What we've done is we've partnered directly with these companies. In this case, our first two are Shopify and Salesforce Commerce Cloud. And these are direct partnerships, and these are certified. So every integration we have is certified to make sure that everything is working seamlessly. So here in this example, you can see this is someone has added a couple of items to their shopping cart, and then there's an option right in there they can self-report and select to, they have an option to apply for a military, first responder, student, or teacher discount. So in this example, they've selected student, and when they click on that button to verify status, this is the standard ShareID verification form. They can fill this out, and as they're verified, this discount gets applied just directly right to the checkout process, and they can move on their way. So these are big features for 2019. Next up is a quick peek into Q1 of 2020. These are our top roadmap themes in Q1. We're expanding coverage for a number of our consumer tribes internationally. We are making some improvements to our reporting dashboard, and we're adding an additional e-commerce integration with Adobe's Magento. Just a little bit more detail on each of these. In 2019, our international expansion was really focused on our student tribe. And as Bill mentioned, this is we rolled out student verification worldwide. All of our other products, until now, have been focused on the US only. But starting in 2020, we're adding international coverage for our employment verification, age verification, and faculty. Whereas our student offering is truly global, this is a worldwide opportunity. As we launch in Q1 with these new segments, we'll be focused on our top volume countries, really our top 10 in Europe and Latin America. And we'll expand from there based on market demand. Feedback from you. We've heard from our customers that they wanted our reporting dashboard, and as you log into our platform, to be faster, to just load really lightning fast and be simpler to use. And have been requests for additional filtering to apply to the data. So we're building those features into the platform, and we'll be rolling that out in Q1. And finally, just a little, just to reiterate, Magento is going to be our e-commerce integration, our next certified partnership.
Great. Well, thank you, Greg and Karen, Bill, for that recap of what we've done and what's to come. Let's open it up for some Q&A. And while we do that, I just wanted to touch base as we come to the end of 2019 on a limited time offer that we have for our customers. Starting in the beginning of the year, we will have a marketplace with Uber, and the reach here, so reaching 1.6 billion Uber drivers. And Uber estimates that they see 4,000 to 6,000 daily visitors to their site, and that they expect to see that in the marketplace. So we're offering a free listing for our customers in the Uber Pro Marketplace starting at the beginning of the year, but we are limiting it to the first 10 customers who sign up. So if you are interested, I highly encourage you to reach out to your customer success manager, or you can email helpdesk@shareid.com and we will get you in the queue. So with that, going to our questions that came in through the time. Greg, this one, it looks like, is more directed towards you and the reporting, but when will the new reporting become available and how do I access them?
Sure, so the new reporting is going to be coming in January, by end of January, and it will just be a part of My Share ID. So as you log in, it will replace the current reporting views.
Great. And then again, Greg, maybe for you or Kara, on the new segments that Kara went through, the 4 new consumer tribes, they ask, how much do the new segments cost?
Sure, so all of the segments that Kara mentioned are included with our standard platform. So standard pricing applies.
Perfect. And same person comes in with a question about the e-commerce integrations. So is there an additional cost for the e-commerce integrations?
Likewise, the e-commerce integrations are included with your platform subscription.
Great. Let's see here. As it relates to SMS messaging, the question is, how do I get started with SMS messages?
Yeah, so the best place to start is with your account manager or customer success manager who you have a relationship with today.
Great. And then our last question looks like, what countries will you launch in for international segments?
Yes, I got all the answers today. International segments. So the top 10 countries are Germany, France, England, Spain, Portugal, Canada, Australia, Brazil, Turkey, and Mexico.
Great. Wonderful. Well, with that, it looks like that's wrapping up our questions. As I mentioned at the beginning, we will send out a recording of this webinar with these slides within the next couple of days. And you can be on the lookout for our next webinar coming in March 2020, as we will do, of course, another recap of the quarter releases and then give you a sneak peek at what's to come. So with that, thank you for joining us, and we wish you all a peaceful, happy holidays and a good start to 2020. So thank you all for joining, and have a good day.